Over the past few weeks, I've seen a ton of players on Reddit complaining about the Goldsink issues with Diablo, so I thought I would make a video to address this. I'll start by saying, for the most part, that the Goldsink in Diablo is very good. However, there are a few major overlooks in their design that I personally think need to be addressed. So let's first go over why gold sinks are good. Gold sinks exist in games to give value to the in-game currency. Obviously, without any form of currency or value to that currency, players would be able to obtain nearly everything needed with little effort. That, of course, would be poor game design. Without a gold sink, there simply wouldn't be a Diablo economy. Right now, some of the main gold sinks include gem upgrading, aspect extracts, repair costs, upgrade costs, respecs, and item rerolls, and most of these are pretty good. However, there seems to be one major or two major oversights, and those are rerolls and respecs. While I'm sure there's a few other issues, the two main ones that are going to be addressed in this video are rerolls and respecs. Rerolling an item in Diablo is where a player can trade in gold to reroll one specific stat on an item. Each time you reroll the item, its gold cost increases exponentially. This means that after 4 to 5 rerolls, it becomes next to impossible to do it again as the gold becomes astronomical in cost. So to address this, I think there should be a fixed price on stat rerolls. The price should increase based on item power, then cap out for the highest possible item level. The price should also be high, but it shouldn't ever become impossible to reroll the item, especially considering how scarce good loot is right now. So this would mean that I could reroll the item indefinitely, assuming I could afford the gold cost on that specific item, which of course is capped out. You see, the developers have put in 2 checks to ensure that players don't easily get BIS items from rerolling stats. The first check being, of course, the insane gold costs, but the other check is that you're only allowed to reroll one stat at a time. So this means that only one stat can be rerolled on an item. So players are really frustrated right now because these 2 checks are making it extremely difficult to upgrade gear. People are sinking all of their gold, hoping for stat upgrades that will probably never come, thus wasting an entire piece of rare gear. So in my opinion, as far as stat rerolls are concerned, one of those 2 checks need to be lifted. We either, 1, should be able to reroll any stat that we want on any piece of gear, but of course the gold cost will be very high, or keep us locked down to one stat as it is now, but have a reasonable reroll cost. So in my opinion, only one of those should exist, and they need to lift one of the 2 checks. The other major issue of gold sinks currently are respecs. I've heard many stories on Reddit of people having to do full respecs at max levels, and it's costing them nearly 10 million gold. I think that is a major overlook because it encourages players not to explore the different talents and new builds on their class, especially at max level. Just to give you an idea of how much 10 million gold is, it's basically filling up your inventory 10 times full of rares and then going to vendor everything. So this is obviously a problem because that's going to take about 10 nightmare dungeons just to respec your character one time. And I think this is a really odd change considering that in Diablo 3 we were able to respec with no cost. This just seems to be some sort of odd time sink in there. And in my opinion, I think that this is a very bad change. So if it were up to me, I would probably reduce this gold sink drastically, maybe by even 90 to 95%, and just let players enjoy their class. Let them try new builds. I don't see any harm at all in this because this is exactly how it was in Diablo 3. If there was a cost, maybe I don't remember, but I know it was very small, but I'm pretty sure that there was no cost at all. It's funny because this actually takes me back to vanilla World of Warcraft, where respecs were extremely high and it punished players for trying to learn the game. This of course was removed later down the road in Warcraft, but it's just really kind of sad to see that Diablo has gone down this the same path, especially considering, both games have been developed by Blizzard. They're both managed by the same company. You think that this is something that they would have caught. All right, guys, that's all we have for this video. Hey, if you enjoyed it, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel, and we will see you all in the next one. Thank you.